Disclaimer: this video is not meant to judge you or anyone else. It's made purely for educational purposes. What you're about to hear may include honest and sometimes harsh truths, but they're shared with one goal in mind: to help you grow, to guide you toward becoming a better version of yourself, and to find more peace within. If you're not comfortable with uncomfortable truths, then this video may not be for you. You think you'll feel ready one day, you won't. And that thought alone might be the reason you're still stuck. We all have this little fear when we want to do something big, from our perspective. This can be changing a bad habit, talking to a girl, or starting a project. But the excuse that keeps repeating the most is something like, I'm still not ready, or I can do it later. But the truth, readiness is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the fear of failing. In this video, I'm going to show you why you never and will never feel ready, why that's completely normal, and why waiting is actually the biggest trap keeping you small. And by the end of this, you'll have one less excuse standing in your way. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something important, I mean really important, and felt completely ready for it and stress-free? Probably never. Or if you did, that readiness was just you convincing yourself for long enough that you finally gave in and did it. That's the secret no one tells you. Feeling ready isn't a green light, it's a trapdoor. It gives you a false sense that one day everything will feel aligned, that the fear will vanish, the doubts will melt, the stars will line up, and you'll just enter into your new life like a movie montage. That's fantasy. Here's what actually happens. You wait, you keep waiting, and then time does what time always does. It passes, quietly, relentlessly, while you're still getting ready. Think about this. Babies learn to walk by falling, over and over. They don't wait until they've read every blog post on walking. They just go for it. And they look ridiculous doing it. I mean, it looks cute for us grown-ups, but take it from a neutral perspective. Because every fall teaches their brain something. That's how they grow. And somewhere along the way, we forget that. We become obsessed with preparation, perfection, and not looking stupid. And the moment we start caring more about how we look than what we're becoming, that's when we stop growing. I'll tell you the quick story of Derek. Derek once wanted to be a professional musician. He had the passion, the talent, but he thought, I'm not ready, I need more experience, I need better gear, I need someone to guide me. Then one day, out of frustration, he just booked a gig, with no real plan, and guess what? He figured it out as he went. That one gig turned into 5, those 5 turned into 50. Years later, he had toured the whole world and started a company that sold for millions. All because he stopped asking himself if he was ready. You know who never asks if they're ready? Fear. It just shows up, loud, sweaty, sometimes disguised as logic. Fear will convince you it's being helpful, that it's just waiting for the right moment. But that right moment never actually comes. It's like a mirage. Every time you take a step toward it, it moves further away. And here's the real kicker. Waiting to feel ready doesn't make you more prepared. It just makes you more scared. Because the longer you wait, the more your mind fills in the blanks with worst-case scenarios. It's like feeding a stray dog. It keeps coming back hungrier every time. There is a psychological principle called the action bias. It basically says we feel better when we're doing something rather than waiting. Even if the thing we're doing isn't perfect, our brains reward momentum, which means the real trick isn't in preparing more, it's in starting before you feel ready. Let that sink in. Start before you feel ready. That's not recklessness, that's courage. That's how people build businesses, create art, change their lives, not by waiting to be ready, but by showing up scared and doing it anyway. Here's where things get tricky though. There's a part of your brain, the amygdala, whose job is to detect threats, and it loves keeping you in your comfort zone. Every time you try to step outside of it, your brain throws up alarms, not because it wants to sabotage you, but because it thinks discomfort equals danger. That's biology. But here's the twist: growth only happens outside that zone. So when your brain says you're not ready, what it's really saying is this is unfamiliar. And unfamiliar isn't bad, it's just new. Now let's address the problem head on. You're waiting because deep down you're afraid of what happens if you try and it doesn't work. You're afraid people will judge you, that you'll fail, that you'll confirm every doubt you already have about yourself. But let me flip that around. What if it does work? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you actually want is one moment of courage? Most people don't regret trying, they regret not trying. Think of all the things you didn't do because you told yourself, I'll start next week. Now multiply that by years. That's the trap. That's how people end up stuck in lives they never chose, because they were always almost ready. Let's be real, your first step is probably going to suck. That's just how it goes. Your first video, your first post, your first speech, your first product, whatever it is. It's not going to be perfect, and that's exactly how it should be, because no one gets great without being bad first. And if you're not willing to be bad, you'll never get to be great. So what's the answer? Stop treating fear like a stop sign. Start seeing it as a signal. It means you're on the edge of something that matters. The truth is, you won't feel ready because you don't need to feel ready. You need to begin. You need to move while your hands are shaking. Speak while your voice trembles. Try while your brain screams you're not ready. Because action, messy, scared, uncomfortable action, is the thing that makes you ready. The people you admire, they didn't wait until they were confident. Confidence came after the stumbles, after the late nights, after the rejections and awkward silences and failed launches. You want proof? Look around. The world is built by people who started before they felt ready. It always has been. So stop waiting. There's no perfect time, there's just now. And now is always the hardest, which is why it matters most. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. And subscribe so you don't miss out any new content. Thank you.